Well, hello guys and gals, and welcome back to another edition of Fishing Planet with me, Mr. Moose. So today we are here in beautiful sunny California, although it is quite foggy at the very moment. And just doing a little fishing for you guys. I thought I would go ahead and do a video on California, because a lot of people have been asking me to do some salmon fishing, and I will do that here shortly. I thought I would start off here on the dock area and just kind of fish off of them a little bit. Let you guys see the fishing in this area. I'm still getting used to walking with the controller. It wants to just go wherever. It's not very smooth. I am using my controller at this point. Oh, I don't have a power bar. A little bit of a glitch there. Alright, so equipment I'm using right now. I'm using the Farcaster 8.6. Alright, I think it's 8.6. I am using the Attorney 3000S with 6-pound test braided. And I'm using the medium spoon, 1/4 ounce, with the 1/0 hook on it. And just plowing through the water with that. And it'll work for just about any fish out here. Steelhead, striped bass, salmon. The only thing on this map it won't catch is a carp. And that you just basically just need a can of corn and go for it. I do love when you carp fish how you go in there to load up your hook and you put one piece of corn on there. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I gotta fix that. That's driving me nuts. So if you get this little glitch, just escape into the menu and escape back and it'll give you your power bar. It's just a little glitch that's in the system. So you can't really see what's going on because it is a foggy morning. So what I'll do is at the end of this cast, I'll fast forward time to about 7 a.m. and maybe this fog will burn off so you guys can see the surroundings as far as the boat houses and docks that are over here on the shoreline, the windmills off in the horizon. And we'll talk a little bit about the map. There are 3 fishing spots on California, one up by the dam, one here on the docks, and then another on Beaver, on some little island over there. I think it's Beaver something or other, Beaver Point. And so we're over here fishing on the docks. Let's get us up to 7 a.m., see if that gets rid of the fog and the overcast. A little bit. You can start to see the little houses over here. So you got a couple of houses there, some docks. A lot of open water over here. It gets kind of shallow back in there. You can see there's a lot of like reeds back in there, cattails reeds. Probably a good place to panfish. I don't do much pan fishing though, so to be honest with you, I wouldn't know. Anyways, just kind of casting around and fishing. But I figured I'd bring you guys to California and show you a little fishing here. You know, especially since on the forums it's clear that the uniques are raining from the sky in California. I've read so many posts on there where it's talking about how unfair it is that all the higher level people are still catching uniques left and right. And this one guy watched a stream the other night where the guy was catching nothing but trophies and uniques one after another. I'm here to tell you that ain't true. The people who are up here aren't catching them at all. So Now, as soon as I say that, I'll hook into a unique. And if that's the fact, I need to start recording more videos of me fishing, because I haven't caught a unique since Wednesday. So don't believe everything you read in the forums, because they're not true. The people who are sitting there claiming that all the higher level people are up here, and that and that the devs locked everybody else out and are still, letting their buddies fish up here and catch nothing but uniques and trophies. Oh, so wrong you are. We're all suffering through it together. And for those of you who don't get what's going on, the way this game was laid out and the way it was meant to be played, you were supposed to have to search for the fish. You were supposed to have to find the fish on your own. You weren't supposed to walk in and have everybody tell you exactly where and when to cast. And so the devs changed everything to slow you down. If everybody had kept their mouth shut and you had to fish the game the way it was meant to be played, the trophies and the uniques, they'd still be in the game. They wouldn't have gotten nerfed. And this is a temporary solution. As soon as they get their next little solution in place, the uniques and the trophies will return. They just gotta change it up a little bit on us. My favorite are the posts like this guy here. I have to show y'all this. This was sent to me by a friend of mine. And what he insinuates in it is that all of the nerfs happen when I got out of a zone. Which is the funniest thing. I've read this post last night on Steam, where somebody insinuates that everybody who is at the top of the leaderboard are buddies with the devs, and that as soon as we got done with like Colorado, they nerfed it, and then as soon as we got done with Florida, they nerfed it, so that we would have an unfair advantage over everybody else playing the game. There are some most asinine comments out on that forum that I've ever seen. Ignorant people posting stuff. But I guess haters be haters, A lot of sore losers. And again, I said it in my video about New York. The leaderboard means absolutely nothing. Stop worrying about the leaderboard. When the leaderboard matters will be when tournaments come in. So let's talk a little bit about tournament structure. Nothing is set in stone, but I will tell you that from my understanding and conversations that we've had with the devs during closed beta testing, the way the tournaments will be structured is you will compete against people of your same level. So if you get into the game and a tournament starts up, day one you're in the game, you're not going to have to compete against somebody at level 20. You're going to be competing against people within your same level. So you'll be competing against people at, say, level 10 or level 5 or level 11, whatever you're at. The competition will be amongst your level people. So if you're at level 17, you're not going to be competing against somebody who's level 20. You're only going to be competing against the rest of the level 17s. The same for the level 20s. You're not going to be going against somebody who's at level 23. So don't sweat this leaderboard. And like I said, the leaderboard to me, it doesn't even matter until you get to where you've got some contests going on. That's when you want to be bragging. That's when you want to be on top of the leaderboard. So I changed from one dock to another one. Believe it or not, angle of approach towards different places actually matters in this game. Which it has to, because it's a computer game, you know. So where you cast from will affect, you know, what fish you catch. So if you're not catching fish on one dock, move to another dock and try your luck from there. Just because you fished these boathouses and everything from that dock over there doesn't mean you won't catch fish from this dock over here. So you got to move around a little bit. Like I said, stop sweating that leaderboard, guys. Just play the game. Enjoy the game for what it is. It's an outstanding game. And yeah, you've got to grind a little bit right now. And for those of you who will say, well, it's easy for you to say, you're at level 21 or whatever. I had to grind just like you when I began the first time. I've gone through this whole process twice now. And I didn't know where the uniques were the first time I went through. It took me weeks to find them. So I think that's what people don't understand, is the majority of the people you're complaining about have had to do it twice now. And while the fish might not be in the exact same spot, close enough to know where they would have been. But I love the whole theory, though, that the game centers around me. If nothing else, them forums make me feel better about myself. I'm that powerful that the game centers around me. There's a nice fish. A trophy striped bass. And that, kids, is all we are catching up here in Utopia. But if you believe the post, man, it's raining uniques up here. And we're all just raking in the gold. And by the way, for those of you who are thinking about, oh, well, the XP is so much, they're just up there raking in the XP, and they're so much further along and just, you know, stretching out their lead on everybody else in the game. It just ain't happening. I'm not making any more XP than people in Florida are. People in Florida are making more XP than I am in California. I mean, you saw that trophy. It's only 200, 300 points, and that's with the bonuses that are in this week. Before they put the bonuses in, I wasn't catching hardly anything worth any points. I was getting maybe 900 to 1,000 points in a trip. And that's absurd compared to the fact that I could go to Florida right now and I could rack up about 5,000 to 6,000 points in Florida. I guess this is going to be a striped bass. You can pretty much tell what the fish is by the way it fights. If it comes to the surface almost immediate, it's going to be a steelhead. If it comes to the surface and jumps a little bit, so see, I'm getting 87 points with my bonus that I'm getting for double, you know, for XP and a half for being premium. So there ain't a whole lot of points up here. And when you consider the fact that it takes a 250,000 points to get to the next level, It's quite a grind. So if you don't like the grind that you're doing now at the lower levels, just wait till you get to the upper levels and the point values for the fish don't increase. So you got to get a 500,000 to, you know, the jump from 23 to 24 is 1,000,000 points. Well, guess what? The point values don't go up any higher when you get up here. So, yeah, get ready to grind that one out. Where's the trophy? 290. 290. The most I've seen a trophy striped bass go, and that's with premium. With premium, the max I've seen a trophy bass go with is like 310. So, yeah. There's not that much XP up here. It's not what people think. They think we're up here getting 500-600 points per fish, and that's just not the truth of the matter. So, it's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video today, is just dispel the myth that, oh yeah, the top of the leaderboards in California, they're catching unique after unique, and they're just raking the points in. It ain't happening. But anyways, alright, so you guys wanted to see a little bit of salmon fishing, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and move over to where the salmon are. You can catch the salmon in this area. The trick to it is kind of be up high in the water column, you know, top water fishing a little bit. You tend to catch them. You better look up by the dam. So I'm going to move up by the dam, and we'll do a little salmon fishing up in this area. You can fish all in this area over here. You can walk all down these rocks, fish up here by the dam, as well as you can walk all the way to the end of these rocks and fish out here on the point. So just find you a spot, work your lure around the area. Now in these videos, I'm just point and casting. I don't really care what I catch. I'm not trying to catch a whole bunch of fish in these videos. Just because I want to just do regular videos, and I am still trying to avoid showing any like hot spots or anything else like that. So I'm just kind of keeping it simple. And just working a lure around. Even though it don't matter. Because somebody will get up here and do a video on cast here and every fish will be a catch. Which I've yet to find that up here. The way they've changed some things around. They've changed a lot of the bite specifications on the fish here. They tweaked lure reaction, some things else like that. I mean, Wednesday after the patch, I fished for 4.5 hours, real time, not in game, real time fishing for 4.5 hours, and I think I caught 2 fish, 3 fish. I mean, it was ridiculously bad. And fish that I had caught, lures that I had caught fish with that morning were completely ineffective. It was absurd. But again, I understand what the developers are doing. And that's why I don't really care about it. I get it. They don't want you to get to level 20 and then all of a sudden get up here and go, well, that's all this game is? Because look, there's some really narrow-minded people in this game right now. You see it with their comments that they put on Steam. They have this mentality of, why isn't this lake in there? Why isn't this fish in there? Why isn't this? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do this? Instead of stopping and stepping back and saying, wow, this is pretty darn good for a game that's in early access. And I'm getting to fish, and I'm not having to spend any money for it. And it's not a money grab like other games are. And you can actually play this game free to play and not have to spend a dime in it unless you just really are make some boneheaded maneuvers with your money. I mean, if you go in and you catch a whole bunch of restricted fish and you lose all your money, that was you. But for the most part, you can get into this game, and if you manage your resources, you pretty much can get in here and not waste your money in this game. If you want to advance a little bit faster, sure, you can get premium, and you can use your premium membership to get you that extra little 50% XP. But you don't have to. And if you make a stupid maneuver or don't have enough cash to buy something, you can buy some extra money, but you really shouldn't need to. People just spend their money poorly, or make bad decisions on the money that they spend. Bad decision: setting a lake as your home state. That's a terrible decision. You're not going to be at any lake in this game long enough to need to set it as your home state right now. When they put in these lakes that are huge and enormous, and you're going to be going there and having to travel around those lakes on a consistent basis, then it makes sense to go ahead and set up a home at a lake. But don't waste your money on a home lake right now. It's just not a good decision. Unlimited licenses, not a good decision. Chances are you're only going to be fishing at a particular lake while you're leveling up for 2 days in real life, maybe 3. So I wouldn't buy more than a 3-day license. And at the end of a 3-day license, if I did need another one, I'd just go a daily. Don't be buying those unlimited licenses right off the bat. Wait a little bit. Get leveled up, get all the way to California, and then think about it. Once you've got some money to throw away, that's when you buy the unlimited licenses. Don't buy them early on. Otherwise, you're just throwing away cash that you might need for something like line or a pole or a reel or travel expenses to a lake. So, got to play smart. Yes, there are built-in traps into the game to get your money away from you, so that you'll make mistakes and you'll have to buy cash. It's only natural that they build those into the game because they got to make money somehow. But at least it's not a blatant money grab where you have to spend money in this game. Again, it's, you got to think about what you're doing, and hopefully you'll make the right decisions and you won't need to buy cash. And the only thing you might want to do is buy a starter pack, or you might want to buy a premium membership to help you level up, but that's it. So, cast over here, see if we can get a salmon. I'm shocked that I haven't been able to catch a salmon yet. They usually hit this spoon pretty good, and I usually can catch a couple of them pretty quickly. though they're only the small ones. I don't really... There are no unique salmon that I know of in this game. Just trophies and regular ones. And post-patch, the trophies have been usually coming like one for every 7 or 8 regular salmon that you catch. They've been pretty slow. Here we go. Ah, missed it. I hate those little flashes, man, where they just... It's still right behind it. Did I get it? Can't tell if I didn't get it. It was right behind it, and I didn't get it. I could see it actually coming behind it. That stunk. But I hate those little flash like moments, and what it is they're biting at the bait and they're biting in front of it. And that's the reason your line goes slack. And there's not a whole lot you can do to it other than maybe whip the rod one side or the other. But at least that tells me there's a fish over in this area. So we'll just work this area and see if we can catch it. And I made a cardinal mistake there. I didn't note where I got the strike. So I don't even know what distance that was. So I had the first day I came over here and fished, I had a great fish on. It hooked up. It took me, I had 574 feet of line on my rod. It took 574 foot of rod. Stopped. I held it for a couple of seconds, and then it said "see ya." Popped the line and took it and went. So, coolest moment of the game I've had so far. I've had some pretty good fights with some largemouth bass in Florida, where I've gotten them right up to the dock and they've turned and hightailed it out, and I've had to hold them and reel them in a long distance. But that one, without a doubt, was the coolest one that I've caught so far in the game. Well, I say caught. Hooked, because there wasn't much catching to that one. Well, I said I'd bring y'all over here and do a little salmon fishing, but so far fishing's what I'm doing, catching isn't. Let me try a little faster lure presentation, see if I can... There we go. Oh, I got it. So I sped up my lure presentation a little bit and got a little interest in it. This is just going to be like a 10 pounder, 14 pounder right in there. Nothing really to write home about. But there you go, 13 pounds. So you see the XP, 130 points. That's with premium, so I got 43 bonus on that. So yeah, wasn't really, but about an 86 point fish. We'll keep that. So I will tell you guys, there's a little bit of glitch in California, and the dev's solution around it is to go ahead and lower the licenses to 20. And what was happening was, when I got to California and was the first person to get up here, one of the issues was your restrictions on your license when you get to California, originally at 20, you could get your basic license, which lets you do panfish, striper, carp, and let you catch steelhead. But you had to release, I guess you could catch steelhead, but you had to release any trophies, any uniques, and you could not catch any salmon. Well, the issue I was running into was with my basic license, every time I caught a steelhead or a trophy striper, I was getting $1,000 fine right off the bat. Even if I released it, I was getting $1,000 fine. And so then as a couple of more people got into California, they had the same problems. The devs decided the solution was to lower the licenses down to 20 so that you could go ahead and get your licenses, your advanced and your salmon license at level 20, and then you could just avoid having any fines at all. But let me just go ahead and tell you this right off the bat. If you get up here and you start fishing, you make sure that you have your license up to date, because if you're fishing along, you let your license expire, bam, $1,000 fine. So keep that in mind as you approach California, because it doesn't seem they fixed the bug. It just seems like they just gave you the opportunity to get the license. Because theoretically, the way it all is set up, you shouldn't even have an issue with striped bass or steelhead. You should be able to catch them with absolutely no problem. The only fish that you should have to break your line or play with so it will get off so you don't even land it is the salmon at level 20. But that's not what's going on with the game, so just be aware of that. The bug, that's what the bug is. Because again, you shouldn't get fined for anything except for catching a salmon at 20. But the way the bug is working is, if you're catching a trophy striper or a steelhead, you're getting $1,000 fine for it. And it's completely random too. You may come into the lake one time and get it, and you come into the lake the next time and not get it. And some people will get it with, oh man, he didn't take it. Boy, he hit it, but he did not take the hook. Oh, I didn't get that either. He's messing with it. Either that or there's a rock in there that I was hitting. See, I'm gonna work that pretty aggressively out of there and get something to chase it. But anyways, getting back to the bug, I was getting hammered with steelhead. My buddy Tony was getting hammered with the striped bass. So it was completely random, and I would come in, like I came in one day to get it on video, and I absolutely couldn't get it to give me a fine. Turned the video recorder off, left, went down to Florida and fished a little bit, because my solution for it was, fine, I won't fish up here at 20. I'm going to go ahead and get to 21, and then at 21 I'll go ahead and be able to catch anything, and except for salmon, I can deal with the salmon part of it. So I went down to Florida, fished for a little bit, came back up here one evening, since I was like, well, I didn't have that bug at all the last time I was up there, so I think I'll just go up there and mess around and fish for some striped bass. Sure enough, without the recorder on, I come up here and I got hammered again for $1,000 fine, $1,000 fine. Tony came up here, got hammered with $1,000 fine for catching the striped bass. It was crazy. So I know they got other things they got to fix other than that. Be cool if I could hook a if I could hook a trophy. That would be great, especially if I could hook a trophy that would run. That would be cool for you guys. See if we can cast right in here. Still getting used to using the gamepad, but I'll tell you what, if you've got a gamepad at home and you can set it up and emulate your keyboard mouse with it, it is the way to fish this game. I have more control over my, believe it or not, it just seems like I have, by being able to just tap my trigger button, it seems like I have more control over my lure presentation with it. I really like being able to fish this way with the control pad versus using the mouse and keyboard. Plus I went and added, like when I'm on TeamSpeak, I've added my TeamSpeak button to my controller, so I can just sit down, put my feet up, and I can just do everything on my controller now, and I don't have to use the keyboard at all, unless I'm trying to do something like go into my inventory and do something. Then I use the mouse and keyboard for that. But when I'm just hammering away fishing, cast after cast after cast, I'm just basically using my mouse and keyboard. I mean, I'm using the controller. There we go. Nothing. I can usually tell what kind of fish it is just by pumping the rod back. If it starts taking a little length off the line, then it's usually something of a little bit of size, but this is just a regular fish. And again, just a smaller Chinook. And let's see. Open water here I doubt is really any good for Chinook. I haven't fished up here a whole lot, I'll have to be honest with you. This was an area that I didn't get to that much in closed beta. I got to it in the last week of closed beta, so I didn't get to spend nearly as much time up here as I wanted to. But I fished it enough to find where all the fish are and find some sweet little spots, but nothing major. Come on. Come back and hit it again. Oh well. We'll cast out one more time in this general area here. But, so I know a lot of you guys aren't happy with the current status of the game, with what's been done as far as trophies and unique, because you got used to the way it was. I do know the devs are working on a solution that they're trying to balance gameplay and people wanting to stream the game and YouTube the game and still have it be fair and enjoyable for everybody at the same time. What do I mean by fair? As you head towards this game and its competitive side, which will be coming in the next 30 days or so when they introduce duels and tournaments, you can't rightly have everybody and their brother sharing the location of all the uniques and the trophy fish in the game. So, and you can't have the YouTubers and the streamers doing live streams and standing in one spot fishing and catching uniques over and over and over again. So they're working on a solution for that, which should be coming pretty soon. I would say in the next week or 2 weeks. So, you know, recognize the potential of the game. Realize that you can get out here and have a lot of fun in this game right now as it is. And don't be so focused on the leaderboards and the grind and everything else is in there. We all knew there was going to be a grind in this game. It's the way the games are designed. So just, you know, enjoy the fishing. Go back and try to catch some of the fish that maybe you've missed if you get burned out on the grind. Go back and try to catch some, you know, red ear sunfish, or go back and, you know, do some New York or something like that. Don't be worried so much about the grind, because you accomplished nothing by getting to 20 this week, other than getting to come up here and fish for 3 more fish. And in all honesty, the way it's set up right now, you're not missing out on much. So slow down yourself. Don't burn yourself out on the game. Go fish and enjoy the game for what it is. If you know you haven't been to North Carolina to fish the smallmouth bass in there, or the largemouth bass, or the unique black crappie, or the red ear sunfish, or any of that stuff, go fish some North Carolina a little bit. You know, go try to catch some smallies in Oregon, or go back to New York and work on the walleye. Try to catch yourself a trophy walleye, or whatever the new unique that they've placed in there. Just enjoy the game for what it is. A great fishing sim. And don't focus so much on, well, I can't grind out if I don't have unique. Let them fix the problem, and you know, enjoy the game the way it is right now, and just enjoy the fishing. Because I can't stress to you enough, there's no value in the leaderboard, and there's no end game at 23 or 20 or whatever. I mean, you're going to get to 20 and you're going to be sitting at 20, and you're going to do exactly what I'm telling you right now. You're either going to sit up here and you're going to try to grind out on salmon and striped bass and maybe catch a carp, or you're going to go back and visit some of the lower level lakes that you didn't fish when you were in your speed grind to get up here to the top. So why not just relax and take the time to fish the game at a slower pace and catch yourself some of those fish now, instead of burning yourself out on the grind. Just enjoy it. You don't need any of the, I mean, I read this one guy's post, and he's on the Steam forums, and he's constantly bitching about the fact that He doesn't understand why he can't have the best gear in the game right off the bat. Because, you know, it's ridiculous to have to grind out to get the best gear in the game. Well, the best gear in the game ain't going to make you a better fisherman. Just fish. Catch the fish. You know? Work on your skills at locating fish right now. Ooh. Steelhead. You know? Just enjoy the game. It's, you know, if you don't set it up with objectives in the game, where you have to work to get something, then there's no use in even having a grind, having a point system at all. And you have to have a point system for it to be a game. It's just, I don't know, it cracks me up when I read some of this stuff. You know, get better on the lower level gear. Prove that you know, prove that you can catch on it. In real life, we go out there and catch fish on ridiculous rigs every day. You know, look at all the videos you see on ESPN and all these other networks where people are doing stupid stuff like going out on inner tubes with crappie poles to try and catch 30-pound walleye, or extreme fishing where they're trying to shark fish off of a tractor tire. People do crazy things to see how good of a fisherman they are, so you shouldn't have any problem fishing for pickerel with a low level pole and 2-pound test line. If anything, better gear just makes it easier for you to do that stuff. It doesn't make you a better fisherman. I mean, I'm at level 20 and I'm still using my level 17 reel with 6-pound tests on it, and having no problems, which cracks me up because I hear people already at I'm level 14 and I'm fishing with 10-pound test on this reel and this rod, and I don't understand why I can't throw farther than 80 yards or 80 feet. You got too heavy a line on that rod and reel. That's why. There's no fish in this game you can't land on 6-pound test or 6-pound braided. There's not. Hence why I'm fishing for salmon right now with 6-pound braid on a level 17 reel. Now, I wouldn't try this with a wing cast because in this game, if I tried to catch a bass or if I tried to catch a salmon this size, the algorithms of the game would automatically break my reel. But in real life, I could use lightweight tackle and try to catch a salmon. I would just have to loosen my drag way up and really have a whole lot of line on the reel, and then I could just baby it the whole time. There would be no muscling. It would all be about finesse. Let's see if we can't catch one more. Apparently I caught a rock. Those rockfish are abundant now. Seem to catch quite a bit of them. Anyways. Seems like this side is just dead this time of day. Let's go a little bit later in the afternoon and see what we come up with. Let's go forward. Maybe 5, 6 o'clock. See what that does. Let's go to 5 o'clock. Let's see if we have any better luck. Oops. A little too light on that cast. I thought I was selecting the aim. Still getting used to using the joystick to move around though. The sensitivity on it, not as fine as I need it to be. Alright, so we'll work this in, see if we can attract a little interest in ourselves here. Start with a slow retrieve and see what we get. Add a little twitch in. Alright, cast in the same spot again. This time we're going to go a little bit faster retrieve. So I'm just going to hold the button down and twitch. And I caught that rockfish again. Nothing. So it seems like the only place I'm having any luck is over on the right hand side now. Which is funny because pre-patch I was catching a ton of fish over here. So I guess they moved the fish on me. This is not how I normally fish, I will tell you that. The way I normally fish is, if I was trying to find fish here, I would cast out here. I'd cast here probably 10 times. Then I'd cast here about 10 times. Then I'd cast here about 10 times. Then I'd cast here about 10 times. You get the point? I would work myself around this lake, casting 10 times to each point. And if that didn't work, then I'd adjust the time forward an hour and start all over. And I'd work myself all the way around the lake again. And if I didn't catch fish then, I'd come and start all over again, pushing the time forward about an hour. But I'm not aggressively fishing right now. I'm just laid back fishing and just enjoying a little light-hearted fishing, not really worrying too much about it. Now I'll say this, when they make the next round of changes in the game and they get things the way bit normalized and back to normal, then I'll start doing some fishing where I'm comfortable showing you guys exactly what I'm doing, because I know it won't affect gameplay at that point, and you can see exactly how I fish to find fish, because then it won't matter. That's if they do what they tell me they're gonna do. Alright, so but I've gotten to the point where the things they say I just kind of take with a grain of salt, because I don't know whether it's gonna actually happen or not. I'm just working this way too fast. Oh man, let me see if I can actually catch a fish and try to. Reel tip down and just pump. See if I can get something to bite. Fall back down. Catch a rock. Get off the rock. Reel back in, pumping. Crazy. So, I think I've effectively demonstrated in this video that the uniques are not in fact raining from the sky. So, yeah, without calling out any names from people who are in Steam, spreading around a lot of mistruth just to fuel the fires of the hatred that's going on or whatever. There are not uniques raining from the sky, and every cast that I make is not a catch. If it were, I would certainly be hammering the fish with this spoon. So, anyways. And I know there'll be some people going to say, well, yeah, in his video he didn't actually try to catch fish. Okay. What was I supposed to do different? Well, you said you're avoiding hot spots. Well, I've pretty much thrown to everywhere up here on the map that would attract fish. There we go. There's one. Ooh, ooh, come on. All right. All right. So there we go. Another salmon. And I think with that, we'll, well, I guess I could take you to the last spot on the map over here, which is the Beaver Point, whatever it's called. What is this called? Welcome to Fishing the Beaver. Yeah. This is really, from what people say, there's a lot of carp fishing over here. I've come over here and worked this area for striper, but it seems like it's really shallow in a lot of this area. Maybe up in this area there might be some deeper water, and since striper are, you know, your striper is a deep water fish, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of area here for the striper to be in this area. Now I can go on the back side of this and fish over by the boat houses, and I catch a lot of small striper, but I don't catch any big striper over there. The wind here kills me. The wind blows like every 30 seconds through the cattails or cattails, and gives you that big rustling sound, which instead of wind through cattails, it sounds more like the leaves blowing across my front yard. Yeah, nothing. Alright, well. Anyway, so you see this area over in here. It gets really shallow up there around that little, can't really make it out, but there's a set of reeds right there in the center. It makes a little island. And there's a drop off on the other side of it. Let me get my mouse so I can move around. Right in this area, there's a drop off right over in here, and then it shallows up in this area quite a bit, and then comes back on this side and drops off a little bit. So there's a few little holes in this area that are really good for carp fishing, I'm sure. And if you look at the pictures, the only unique carp that's been caught in the game so far was caught right here. So I imagine this is the hot zone for carp right in this area. And seeing as I'm not a carp fisher, that's one thing I can't help you out with much, as I'll not be taking the time to come over here and do a bunch of carp fishing. Which also means if there's a carp fishing tournament, guess who's not going to be entering it? That's right, this guy. I think you can fish the backside of this as well. Like I said, I did come over here and work these boat houses quite a bit, because I'm thinking, oh, that's a good place for some fish. And you know, it's a shame they didn't add in, like, it's a shame there's not catfish on this lake, or just regular bass, because you'd think those little floating houses and docks would just be a haven for some bass. But I am able to pull like regular striper out of here, coming right here and fishing right here. But of course I can't do it when I'm recording a video, because that would make tons of sense. Which I don't feel bad, because I was watching another guy's videos today. Early this morning I was just kind of going through some other videos and looking at what other people were doing. And one of the guys who I watch on a lot of other games, he was playing a little fishing planet, and he was doing his video, and he said the same thing. He's like, I caught 11 bass a little while ago, and it's what you know, as soon as I turn on the recorder, I can't catch a thing. And I just kind of laughed at that. I was like, yep, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt for it. I've had occasions where I've gone in and I've fished like Missouri, and I've caught a ton of fish in Missouri. Well, last week's live stream is a perfect example. I can go into Missouri and catch fish. I know how to do it. Know where to cast, know what lure to use, all that good stuff. Went in to do the live stream, do a little fishing on the live stream, and I thought I was never going to catch a fish. I felt like such an idiot. But that's the way it goes, right? Called fishing, not catching. And right now, I'm not doing much of catching. Alright, so anyways, I would love to leave this on a high note with a really nice fish to showcase, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But I am going to go ahead and wrap this video up. And like I said, guys, just I know the game's got its growing pains. Like any early access open beta has. Just keep in mind that it is open beta. They are going to make changes periodically with it, but at least they're making changes, unlike some other games that you've gotten that you paid your money, you got the game, and then they didn't do anything else with it, and you were out your money, and they never really evolved the game. I can think of one that comes to mind right off the bat where everybody's sort of irritated in it, I'm not going to mention it. But yeah, I mean, the developers are good guys. They're working hard. The guys and gals over there, they're a small team, and they're trying to find the right balance. So give them time. Don't beat them up over everything. And again, guys, just because the people on top of the leaderboard got there quick and had a little previous knowledge from the closed beta testing, don't hate on them. I mean, if y'all want to hate on me, but don't hate on the rest of those guys. I mean, they had nothing to do with other than leveling, because they knew how to level and they knew what fish were where, and they took advantage of it. And every one of you would do the exact same thing. So stop hating on them. You know, they didn't do anything wrong. There were no glitches in the game. I get tired of people saying that everybody exploited a glitch. It's not a glitch that they exploited. It was part of the game, and it was there because that is how the developers meant for the game to be played. The exploit was when everybody and their brothers stood around and told each and every person that asked where exactly to catch the fish. And that's what changed the game and why we're in the state we're in right now. So, alright. I'm not going to get on a rant. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. And, of course, I will do some more videos over time. I need to do a newbie guide for folks who are hitting Missouri and don't understand how to get out of Missouri. Pan fishing is not your solution. So, I'll probably do one of those, and then we'll get back into just some regular play. Like I said, I'll probably do a video on how to smallmouth fish, or doing smallmouth fishing over in South Carolina, and just kind of work around and do a little bit of gameplay. Like I said, I'm enjoying the game now. I'm not grinding. I'm back where I wanted to be in the game, and now I can just go around and fish for whatever I want to fish for, and I just don't care anymore. So yeah, we'll do some more videos and I'll get them out for you. And like I said, some things will change over time, and as they do, you guys will get to see more and more of my hardcore fishing stuff as well. I look forward to doing videos when we get into tournament situations of the sort. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and just stick with it, guys. The game gets better and better. It's already a pretty darn good fishing game right now, and it can only get better. So, alright, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.